One of the really important things about it, about the way it was designed, the fact that you can put hypertext links in any format, is that you should be able to represent any sort of information on the web. The web really should not force people to express themselves in any particular way. So in a way, the web really is supposed to be infrastructure that gets out of the way. It's supposed to
make life easier.
It's supposed to be a very transparent medium between the author and the reader.
Today, I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID.
You gave it away, didn't you? The web. You gave away the invention, in a sense. You allowed companies to come in and exploit it and make millions, and you didn't, in a sense. Do you regret the commercialism, or was it inevitable to take the web to consumers? Was it inevitable?
It was inevitable.
The information held on you and your children will be used to stop crimes being committed even before they've taken place.
Very nice. If we're not prepared to predict and intervene far more early, then there are children that are going to grow up in families that we know perfectly well are completely dysfunctional, and the kids a few years down the line are going to be a menace to society and actually a threat to themselves.
I'm interested in how early, because a lot of the evidence suggests you need to be getting in there while the child is still in nappies, frankly.
Or pre-birth, even.
The technology and the digital infrastructure, I just want to emphasize how important I think that is. Because in the end, you need the data. You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for vaccines, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure. And many countries don't have that. In fact, most countries don't have that.
Once you can probabilistically and through modeling be able to much better see what's going to happen. Take, for example, the fact that we already can start to see signs of Alzheimer's many decades potentially before a person starts to manifest the condition. Do they want to know? And if they don't want to know, should other people have the ability to know? Should an insurance company be able to make choices about whether to cover them? Should an employer have access to that information to make decisions about whether or not they are somebody that they ought to employ?
All UK citizens will have to have one. Well, the plan is that we're going to roll this out by the end of
No,
Parliament.
my question is, what if I don't? What if I've got my job, so I don't need to show this to anyone, so what if I just don't do it?
So if you don't have one, then you'll have a problem if you want to get a new job.
No, I'm saying I'm not doing that. So I'm not seeking a job. So why should I get the digital ID card? Why do I do it? Well, is there some fine for not doing it?
You need a higher purpose, and I also think you often need a lower purpose. Like the higher purpose for me...
What's a lower purpose?
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us. So that's my lower purpose. And, and others. But the higher purpose for me was to get this nation to be the preeminent power in the world, because whatever faults we have, they're nothing like anyone else's. I'm clearly not in favor of Palestinian innocent people being killed. I am not in favor of that. And I'll tell you, so then the question is, are you allowed to fight war? And then the other point is, if you want to minimize human life, innocent human life being killed, you're going to have to use software. And this is going to have to be better in the future than it is now. It's true, Israel's ratio of like casualty, innocent to non-innocent, is better than anyone has ever had in the history of humanity, and it's going to have to be better in the future.
Does your software help send aid to the refugees, or can it?
You have to be very careful. I want to avoid, I can't go into exact, I'm not allowed to say where we're used, where we're not used. But then there's sometimes a trick people do. It's like, oh, I'm not used for this and I'm not used for that. When in fact, we are used in Israel. And I would say, as a generalization, where we're used in Israel, most people in this audience would be very supportive of. And it actually has been very precise and deadly.
We're going to have to use the tools of battle. The weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that.
We have to backtrack till 2020 when President Trump was trying to ban TikTok, worrying about it being a national security risk. And TikTok went to Oracle and said, hey, we need to expand our infrastructure.
Oracle right now pretty much runs the whole of TikTok US assets, and they've been doing that over the past 2+ years.
And when it comes to divesting from the Chinese parent company, when it comes to getting your data in a format that's going to appease lawmakers, Oracle has had a big part of this.
Your body cams will be transmitting that. The police will be on their best behavior because we're constantly watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government. But also, tell us a bit about because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, data centers, and so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records, your genomic data. And in the Middle East, in the UAE, for example, they're incredibly rich in data. They have a lot of population data. The NHS in the UK has an incredible amount of population data, but it's fragmented. It's not easily accessible by these AI models. We have to take all of this data we have in our country and move it into a single, if you will, unified data platform.
Mr. Ellison, can you tell us what is your connection to Israel?
Well, the renewal of the Jewish state is something that I think touches all of us. For 2,000 years, we were a stateless people, and now we have a country of our own, defended by all the brave men and women of the IDF. So anything we can do to support them, who devote their lives for preserving the state of Israel, keeping the people safe, and allowing our state to continue sometimes in very, very difficult situations.
But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. Exactly. Very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight. Okay?
If you feel the web should be simple, you can go and write a very simple piece of web.
And if for some people have found you want to use the web for fraud or immoral purposes or whatever, then it's only answering to the world in which the world it serves, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's only as good as the world it serves.
Yes,
and in many parts that's not very good, is it?
The analogy was with paper. Can you imagine trying to invent a sort of paper which can't be used for writing untruths or can't be used for immoral purposes? It's inconceivable. It would be a horrendously complicated piece of paper. Instead, what you say is, look, the paper is used for writing whatever it is you want to express, and then if you want laws, if you want values, then you do those in society.